Hey laser fans, it's been a while. Minimal updates. So unsurprisingly what we're going to do today, let's have a little look at what's been happening in the laser world. So little bits here and there, actually some local pickups, some quite interesting, some cool ones, a couple from abroad. It's been going all right. Having a bit of a reshuffle in there at the minute. Picking up a new CRT tomorrow, an MX2000 Bang & Olufsen. So I'm going to sort this room out because it's a fucking mess at the minute, basically. It's a real mess. And I can't play anything at the minute. I can plug one thing at a time. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm finally sorting this shit out. Hopefully we'll get it sorted out. But in the meantime, what's been happening in Laser Dreams? Well, I don't know why I do it to myself, really. Nothing in this world has prepared you for this. Widescreen special edition of Mortal Kombat. Christopher Lambert, based on the digitised video game. From an era, well, we're probably still in the era, and it's been going on since the dawn of time, where video games and movie crossovers just don't quite cut it. I think the thing is about Mortal Kombat, probably had quite a rich sort of background. There's something there they could have dug into, I think. They didn't want to make it a clone of Big Trouble in Little China, but something along those lines maybe could have been better than what this is. It's not the worst thing ever, but, you know, whatever. It was cheap. I haven't bought a music disc in a while. Quite why I bought this, I'm not sure. I'm a fan. But historically, I'm a Blur fan. And this meant the reckon real deal. When we were at school, 95, 96, it was fucking serious stuff, whether you're a Blur or Oasis fan. When Country House come out, it was up against Roll With It, I think, by Blur. And I ran down to town to pick up the CD of Country House, knowing full well it was fucking arse compared to Roll With It, but whatever. But here we are, years later, I can accept them both. Oasis, Live by the Sea. So this is recorded live at Southend Cliffs Pavilion, 7th of the 4th, 1995. Look at the back here. There's Noel. So this is essentially Definitely Maybe and some songs surrounding it, B-sides and whatnot. I'll take you through the track list and you can make it up in your own mind. Rock and Roll Star, Columbia, Digsy's Dinner, Some Might Say, Live Forever, Up in the Sky, Acquiesce, always a fan favourite, Head Shrinker, Good to Be Free, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Married with Children, Sad Song, Do You Want to Be a Spaceman, Talk Tonight, Slide Away, Supersonic, I Am the Walrus. Digital Sound, Pal Disc. So that'd be pretty cool. Oasis in their pomp around their first album. I mean, they've made quite a track list on that, the first album. There obviously there's a lot more tracks than actually on the album, so a lot of B-sides and stuff, but pretty fucking sound. Here we're going way back in time. So, massive fan of the 80s. Probably heard me mention it a number of times, the 80s movie Cat People. It was based on a 1950s movie called Cat People. And this is the Criterion Collection version of. Yeah, it's quite an interesting movie. It's about this lady, Raina. She's come over from Eastern Europe, staying in the States. Gets together with a guy. They get married. They haven't, how should we say, consummated the marriage. She lives in the fear that if that happens, she'd turn into a cat and destroy him, maul him alive, essentially. And thinking, how can this possibly be? I mean, obviously he thinks this is ridiculous. She's playing up. This is ape shit. And obviously he gets a bit frustrated in their relationship, goes off with another lady, and Irania's not too happy about it. Very mysterious. Is she really a cat? I think that's one of the things that this movie doesn't give it away. It doesn't really put everything on its sleeve. You're never really sure. One of the first true chillers, or thrillers. Really cool. Definitely recommend that. I definitely recommend the 80s version as well. Ramps it up a bit. Very interesting movie. Adds a couple of things into it that this one doesn't have. There is a sequel to this called Curse of the Cat People, which was involving a little girl who potentially was a child of somebody who was a cat person. Haven't seen that yet. Started it a few times, but need to get into it. Another music disc. I put this on, and unfortunately it's a little bit of a rotter. That sounds fine, but starting to rot away a little bit. I only got this because it was local and cheap. got the Virgin tour down there somewhere, which is just a superb, straightforward 80s rock tour, basically. It's really good. I think I got I don't know what it is. It's Madonna, basically. I don't know what one I got. Maybe it's the Girly Show. I didn't like it. Way too camp. Soft, I don't know. Just didn't like it. Didn't like the production, didn't like the dance routines. It was a bit too, I don't know, it's just wasn't for me. This one's a bit more straightforward. Live from Italy, Ciao Italia. Open Your Heart, Lucky Star, True Blue, Papa Don't Preach, Dress You Up, Material Girl, etc. So I'll have a look at that one day. Might be alright. Not really banging into that these days, but we'll give it a sec. We'll give it a go. Now this was a cool little pickup. Didn't realise one of these was going to be sealed. One of the things that really galls me about it's Beavis and Butthead. Essentially, one of the things that really annoys me these days, you never see the music videos in Beavis and Butthead. Obviously, there's copyright protection surrounding those. Was there ever a version of Beavis and Butthead released on like home video, etc., that had the music videos in? Because really, when I used to watch Beavis and Butthead, I liked the vignettes, but really, I like the music reviews. You know, it introduced me to a lot of bands. The first probably time I saw like Primus, Devo, a number of other bands like that. You'd have interesting videos on, which you don't see too much of. So I don't know that this hasn't got the music videos in it, but I doubt it a lot. This is actually sealed. It's Beavis and Butthead, the Essential Collection from MTV. So this is a compilation available across 2 VHSs. This is a compilation of those. There we go. Beavis and Butthead, the Essential Collection contains 16 hilarious uncut episodes with no music videos and no commercial interruptions. Okay, so that's annoying. It doesn't have the music videos, but I guess none of them do. If someone knows if there is a version that has the videos in, let me know. So that come in a double header with Beavis and Butthead Do America. Doesn't say on the packaging, but this is a Dolby Digital Laserdisc widescreen in absolutely pristine condition. 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Roger Ebert. So, all cool. I haven't seen that in a good few years, so looking forward to seeing that. Excellent. What's next? Heady sci-fi territory. One of the absolute best. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get ready for the ride of your life. Total Recall. So one of Paul Verhoeven's, he was really in his pomp during this time, wasn't he? On the back of RoboCop and Basic Instinct. Absolutely awesome. So he's got Sharon Stone again. One of her best roles. She's like doing some badass kung fu fighting in this. I belong to a group on Facebook, check it out actually, called Commando Fans. Which is really homage and fandom based around movies like this. And obviously Commando itself being one of the greatest action movies of all time. Someone on there suggested that Sharon Stone might have made a career out of being in more action movies, doing like fighting, like Cynthia Rothrock. That could have been a good shout because she's fucking excellent in this. Everyone's excellent in this. If you haven't seen Total Recall, get off the fucking channel. But in all seriousness, check it out if you haven't, because it's one of the best science fiction movies of all time. And here we go. Not sure if this is one of the best science fiction movies of all time, but definitely excellent designs, definitely a fave from my youth. Never understood it when I was young, just sat down and watched it, not really understand what was going on, because there's cool things to see. The main thing that was interesting is like the main guy, and he has a fight with one of his comrades, and they've got these sort of see-through block suits. They're sort of polygonal, but when you look back at it now, they're just hand-drawn animations. But yeah, really cool. And giant worms, it was something really to behold when you're younger. And it's cool now, a bit overly long. And there's a lot of versions out there. I believe they're actually doing a modern version of it now. With, I was going to say Jack Villeneuve, not the F1 driver. But the Villeneuve guy who did Blade Runner and Arrival, etc. has got the rights to do Dune. So that could be quite interesting. He's got a good track record. But for now, we're diving back into the original Dune. A place beyond your dreams, a movie beyond your imagination. So Dolby Digital, double disc. Got a cool cast in here. You've got Kyle MacLachlan, Sting, Patrick Stewart, among others. Soundtrack by Toto. Really cool designs. Really interesting. I think it's like similar to a movie that's coming up next. There's a lot to see and behold that you might enjoy without, you might not enjoy the actual meat of what's going on, but there's a lot to enjoy. What I'm referencing here is Harrison Ford in director's cut, the original cut of the futuristic adventure, special widescreen, Blade Runner. So I only ever had this on HD DVD before, which I got rid of, but ripped it. Should really get a Blu-ray, but didn't have a version of it, so this come up for cheap, £5. Couldn't resist it. You've got to have a Laserdisc of Blade Runner. I mean, I really should get the Criterion version, but this will suffice. What I mean is, I was watching, again, referencing another video, I was watching, again, Commando-themed, Valve Broadcasting. They did a piece on Blade Runner the other day. Now, I do really enjoy Blade Runner, but and it is a fave. You know, often just stick it on in the background or whatnot, or give it a start. But they were talking about how maybe it's not all cracked up what it's meant to be. Obviously, they were saying that there's a lot to enjoy here. A lot of the visuals, a lot of interesting technology. There's things to see. It sounds great, but maybe the movie isn't the best. Maybe the story's a bit slow. Maybe there's not much to it. Maybe, you know, I don't care. I love it. I've watched it many times, and I may even watch it again today. So, Blade Runner. It's great. Do I prefer Blade Runner? Am I going to get the year wrong? 20-something or other? Fucking got that on Blu-ray as well. Shit. I can't remember anything these days. Do I prefer that? Maybe. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Anyway. I digress. Now, here's something really cool. You've probably seen this many times on Laserdisc channels and whatnot. But those of you that aren't into Laserdisc might not have seen this. Now, this come in the most... It looked pristine when it left Japan. I don't know if the guy lives there. I think he's an English guy. When it turned up, it was wrapped. It was just wrapped in a carrier bag and sellotape. So, as is, no protection whatsoever. Just a carrier bag wrapped around it and sellotape. What sort of fucking cretin does that? Luckily, it arrived okay. It's split down the edges, which is a shame. It's been a bit buffed. It could have been much worse. I mean, what the fuck are these people doing? They think they're idiots, basically, aren't they? Just fucking stupid. But here we have Zombie. So this was the Dawn of the Dead. Do you like my lisp? Perfect collection. Box set. So I don't know if you can see on the back here. This is a classic zombie head which appears on some of the covers, some of the releases of this movie. So this includes a director's cut perfect version and also a Dario Argento cut of it. The Dario Argento select version. Excuse me. I'll just show you a couple of bits that are in here. So you get this gnarly book. So Zombie, Dawn of the Dead. I don't want to go too much into it because I always get this wrong. But there are sequels to this called Zombie 2 and 3. I've got Fulci's Zombie, which I think is Dawn of the Dead 2. I can never fucking remember. But in all regions, it's basically Dawn of the Dead. So you get this cool booklet. Zombie, Dawn of the Dead. Some nice graphics from the film. I'll show you this. Sorry, this is fucking appallingly done. You know, we're all high tech on this channel. Introduction and story. Okay, that's all in Japanese. What's actually quite interesting is that this is where the cool stuff starts. So you've got these layouts of the shopping complex, of the mall. These maps. So it gives you an idea of where everything is. All the stores are named. That's cool. And then it tells you about the Romero version. Oh, it tells you about Romero and about Argento themselves, probably. That's really cool. I mean, you're not going to be able to get this stuff from the store anymore. But look at this fucking merchandise. Who doesn't want a Dawn of the Dead bomber jacket? Oh, cat. What is this stuff? I don't even know what some of this is. Lots of like books of, movies, etc. Blah, blah, blah. That's all cool. And here's some stuff about different versions. I think it's also talking about the quality of Laserdisc, because it's got something referencing the fuzziness of TV down here. I guess it's talking about broadcast TV. Which I don't know if that's true, because broadcast TV can be quite good. Or at least in the standard definition days. So yeah, that's cool. Where you get these radical sets. So look at this, director's cut perfect version. How amazing is this set? Gatefold. So that's the George Romero version. And you've got this Dario Argento version, another double disc. Dario Argento, selected version. Obviously in English, not obviously, but for all those wondering, Japanese Laserdiscs. If they're of a Western movie, typically they're in English with Japanese subtitles. You get some bilingual stuff. You can select between the analog and the digital tracks to get an alternate language, but mostly in English with Japanese subtitles, so that's fine to watch. And that's it for now. I don't think we've got any other lasers on the way. Like I said, we'll do a video soon. This was just a quick catch up because, well, this room's a fucking mess and we're going to sort it out. Going to get all the consoles set up so you can use them all at any time. At the minute, I'm like unplugging stuff. There's mess everywhere. I've got my Neo Geo plugged into a plasma, and that's actually working out quite good. But we're going to get a B&O tomorrow and see if that's any good. It might be fucking old. I think the MX2000 is 80s. So it might not be the best, but we'll grab it and see. I've had a problem with it. This is going to be extremely boring for some, but I had it RGB modded. Basically, on the Neo Geo home console, on some of the models, some of the serial numbers, you get this crosshatch on the screen. That was removed, and on some screens, it's absolutely beautiful. The actual clarity of the image is absolutely fantastic. On the plasma, it looks great. It's superbly clear, but obviously it's not ideal because it's not a CRT. So I might look into getting an OSSC device to double the lines, etc. Really boring, I know. I've got some professional monitors. Why don't I use the Neo Geo on those? For some reason, since the mod's been done, it displays a really oversaturated, like white, like the white's a too bright image. On devices where you can plug it in straight via SCART, absolutely fine. But if it's like C-Sync, SCART to BNC, it's like oversaturated and there's too much bloom, really distracting on the image. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll figure it out, but it'll probably be okay with the B&O. But like I say, we don't know what the B&O is going to be like yet. We will see. But until then, until our next update, just keep it fucking real.